How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Nosferatu. This is the new version, a remake of the 22 film that came out Christmas Day of 2024. So yeah, 102 years later, that's pretty cool. This is written and directed by Robert Eggers, who you guys may know for The Witch. He also did The Northman and The Lighthouse, but man, out of those three, my favorite is The Witch. I remember the first time I saw that and just the sheer force of dread behind it. That was a good creepy movie. Glad he got his shot at Nosferatu. The cast here is also really cool as well. Lily-Rose Depp, Nicholas Hoult, Willem Dafoe, and Pennywise himself, Bill Skarsgard, gets to play another iconic horror villain, Count Orlok. And I have to say, I'm really glad this is getting all the attention it's getting, because I'll just throw my hat in that ring there. It's a really, really good scary film. I kind of think of this as something similar to the Evil Dead remake, because the first Evil Dead was really fun, but also a little bit cheesy, and that's part of the fun. But when they did the Evil Dead remake, they said, hey, what if the Evil Dead was 100% serious? And we get that kind of here as well. This is Nosferatu, but done very, very scary with a sense of dread and surrealism. And I worry a little bit that someone's going to take their kid to see this because, oh, Nosferatu was on SpongeBob, right? But no. This is legitimately a very scary and dark story. And I mean, starting with Orlok himself. Man, Skarsgård, he does a great job. Orlok is such a presence, and he talks, and he's got this deep and foreboding voice. I mean, if you ask me how Orlok would talk, I'd be like, I don't know, it's a silent film. But trust me, this is a great voice, and he extends kind of beyond just being a vampire. He is a pure presence, a force of evil, something that you feel absolutely screwed if you just get too close to, and it is super, super dark and scary. Again, a great reinvention of this villain. And the movie is shot so super well. Like, there's nods to the original in the cinematography, which I really do love. The idea that when it gets dark and there's moonlight and stuff, it really does almost look like a black and white film. And plus, blue moonlight or golden sunlight can really give you those tinges of yellow or blue, like the original color dye. That was really nice. There's some cool symmetrical shots that mirror shots from the old one, and some good homages without being too on the nose. But also, there's some really nice oneers in here. And it's not that flashy show-off, look at how much we did in one take. It's really more about showing the audience exactly what they need to see, pointing the camera from one thing to the other, but using the uncut nature of a oneer to really keep you in the mood, keep you in the scene, and just really pull you in. The cinematography is beautiful, especially when you're shooting old-timey European settings. The look of the original Nosferatu, the architecture and those little crosses in the graveyard, things like that are still very much here. And boy, like I said, the movie looks both beautiful, but also creepy and foreboding. And when you get Orlok being such a big, imposing character, and he has that, like, mind control ability, we're going to get a little surreal at times here as well. And, like, one of my favorite scenes from the original was when he gets in the carriage and it just speeds up the hill. They get a reinvention of that here, but the carriage is, like, dreamlike, and you don't even see the driver in this one, but he kind of gets into it almost in, like, a trance-like state, and it's so... It's so creepy and disturbing, so I really do like that. Now, they do a lot of changes and reinventions, like, for example, where they find the book happens in a different place, and it doesn't feel like an exposition dump or anything, but the biggest change is Lily-Rose Depp's character gets a whole lot more to do. They do this thing where she has like a bit of a psychic gift, not The Shining or anything, but there's enough there for her to be prey to Orlok. So Orlok's known about her and has been kind of stalking her out for quite a while, a true vampire obsession. But we get that ominous and foreboding nature with her, but you also get commentaries about the crude and logical nature of the time. You can't be talking nonsense. You gotta get a little bit more ether in you. Yeah, an interesting little way to frame it up there. And the way she has to go through so much, the way she has to try to fit in society, the way she has to battle this outside force trying to overcome her, and the way she has to be strong to inevitably fight against it. We have a good range there that she has to work with, and she is a really interesting protagonist, and the way that it builds throughout the story to the inevitable ending, it's really good. And also, Willem Dafoe's expanded role as the vampire hunter here, he is just an absolute joy to watch. He's cool. I wish he was able to get into the movie a little bit earlier, and that is going to lead into probably the one big flaw with this is it is a little on the lengthy side, and why I do love when movies take their time and get to develop everything. There was part of the movie where I'm like, wow, we've been here for a while and we're only just now getting to the boat sequence. There are a few times in the middle where you do feel the length, and part of me wishes it was a little faster moving, but you know what? I'd rather have them go for a big experience than to rush it. But yeah, know that this is the kind of movie you're gonna have to sit down and buckle in for. And I will say it's not going to be for everyone because it is art house horror at its core, and there'll be times where a character is like, you know, swept up in this big wave of psychic energy and will be convulsing around, or the way there'll be some almost Shakespearean moment. And I know that if you're not on board for this, it might be a little silly and off. And I will admit though, while I did really like the new tone, there were a few times where I'm like, I do kind of wish it was a little bit more like the silly, cheesy nature of the original. And that being said, I do wish there was maybe a tiny bit of relief here and there, because like I said, it is a very strong, very intense journey that goes on for quite some time, and I did expect someone somewhere to break the ice at least a little bit, which I guess is why I really liked Dafoe's role, because he was so big and over the top, still serious and still fit with the world, but that kind of gave you that relief you needed. Overall, though, it was a really fun movie. I can definitely recommend it. Just know that you're getting in for a long experience, know that it's serious, and definitely know that this is not what you want to bring the kids to. But a good, solid, dark and ominous movie, and a really interesting reinterpretation of the original. I should do a bit of a deep dive into the Nosferatu movies. I have the first one and the first remake, and I also have Shadow of the Vampire, but I was looking up for this review, and apparently in 2023, just last year, they made a Nosferatu movie that no one's talking about, so maybe I'll look at a few more of these, because, I don't know, it's one of those times where you see a big cool movie and then you want to dive into the series as a whole, you know? But anyway, definitely check it out. It's good stuff, and I can definitely recommend it. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my 2024 movies playlist, and we've talked about a lot of cool movies over the course of the year. The First Omen, Late Night with the Devil, Terrifier 3. 2024 has been a really good year, and I need to get on that best of list. Anyway, have a good day. See you guys again very, very soon. 24 playlist here. Have a good day now.